Hey, this is for Dylan. For your Go F Yourself account and all the other exploiting this for effing money. Where's my $34 you owe me? Yeah. Here we go, babies. Let's rock and roll.
I'd like to talk seriously just for a moment. One of the great art exhibits ever to tour the United States is of Tutankhamun, or King Tut. The way we have commercialized it with trinkets and toys, t-shirts and posters. And about 3 months ago, I was up in the woods and I wrote a song. I tried to use the ancient modalities and melodies. We can all learn something from this. Now when he was a young man, he never thought he'd see people stand in line to see the boy king. How'd you get so funky? Did you do the monkey?
All right, babies, here we go. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Lilies, laws, dude, sugar lilies, moon lily. Hey, we're picking it right up here. Now, this is with Ms. J.M., Jenna McClure. Okay, Jenna McClure. And, hey, okay, picking it right up with the initial police interviews here. Same day as the unalivings. Well, later on that morning. Okay, here we go. This is Jenna. Let's see what Jenna has to say for herself. Let's go. All right, here we go. So this is Jenna. Interview 3. Jenna said she texted Bethany at 11:20 a.m. on the morning of the unalivings. Okay. Now I checked that. Now watch. Okay, so 11:20. Let's look at that real quick. Okay, so that's accurate, right? I mean that just happened, right? So this should be accurate. So it is accurate. 11:21. Jenna texts Bethany. That's accurate, and it should be because this just happened, right? This just happened only a few hours ago. So that should be accurate, and it is. Okay, so there we go. That's accurate. All right. Jenna asked Bethany if she was awake. Jenna said Bethany called her back at 11:49. I believe that's also accurate. Bethany told Jenna she and Dylan were in Bethany's room. Jenna said Bethany was freaked out because her roommates were not answering the phone. Okay. Yeah. And other things, I would guess. Like, I don't know. Now again, I'm not giving Bethany a pass, but anyway. Well, let's just carry on. Answering the phone. Yep. Jenna said she heard Dylan on the phone in the background saying, "I saw something." Jenna said Bethany asked her to come over to the King Roadhouse and pick her up. Pick her up. Get me out of here. Get me away from the psycho. Okay, maybe, right, guys? Remember, Dylan's the prime, and Dylan's psychotic. Well, right. So Bethany asked her not to call 911, right? Nobody's asking to call 911 here, guys, right? Remember, my garden knows this, right? Right. No, she doesn't say that. She says, "Get me the F out of here." Pick me up. I think my roommate, I think she just had a hand in maybe unaliving 4 people. I don't know. Jenna said Bethany texted her while she was driving there and said and said Emily and Hunter were on the way as well. Jenna said as she arrived, MPD units were arriving as well. Okay, that makes sense, I think. Okay, I don't know anymore, but whatever. Jenna said she did not go to the infamous Sigma Chi frat party but went to a different one instead. Everybody's going to different parties. You notice that? If they're not going to the infamous Sigma Chi party, well, they're attending another one somewhere else, right? Okay, I'm not saying that's unusual. I'm just saying it's just something to note, just something to note. Jenna said Bethany and Dylan came to this other party. This is important, I think. Jenna said Bethany and Dylan came to this other party. Other party. After she left, Jenna estimated Dylan left her party at 12:30 in the morning, and Bethany left her party at about 1 a.m. Okay, on that morning, right? In the later in the evening, whatever, you know what I mean. Now this isn't off. This is because there's a half an hour gap here in when Bethany and Dylan arrive home. So this would make sense that they would leave half an hour apart from each other. Just saying, that makes sense to me. Just does. Just makes sense to me. All right. Jenna said she was in with Dylan, L, Bethany, and Xana. Okay. Dylan, L, Bethany, and Xana. The sorority. Jenna said Xana and Maddie were both in this sorority, but they dropped out. And Kaylee was in this other sorority, right? But dropped out as well. Okay, I think that's important, and what we're reading next is important, okay? So let's go over that again. Jenna said Xana and Maddie were both in this sorority. They dropped out, okay? They dropped out. So Xana and Maddie out of the sorority, okay? Kaylee also drops out of her sorority. So Xana, Maddie, and Kaylee are not in a sorority anymore. They dropped out. That's important. So what are we left with? Dylan and Bethany, okay? And Ethan. Well, but keeping Dylan and Bethany still in the sorority. Okay. All right. Jenna suspected the girls, not they girls. Just another one of those little typos, right? Anyway, the girls dropped their I'm surprised they got their right. Oh my God. Respective sororities because of issues with other girls in the houses. But they didn't have any enemies, right, guys? Remember, nobody had any enemies with anybody else, except they're dropping their sororities because they had issues with other girls in the houses. So there's friction, there's tension here. There's mean girl stuff going on here, guys. Mean girl stuff, right? But remember, nobody has any enemies, right? Sure, mean girl stuff here. Jenna specifically cited girls on the executive board who tell other members what to do. Jenna suspected this was what they did not like. I would imagine, especially Kaylee and maybe Maddie, right? Being headstrong like they are, that I suspect they are, right? They're headstrong, right? So this would make sense to me. Hey, you're not going to tell me what to do, okay? F off. And it got so bad to the point where they felt they had to get out of the sorority house here. Sorority. Yeah. But no enemies here, guys. No enemies, right? Okay. Jenna suspected, this is what they did not like. Jenna confirmed she, L, Bethany, and Dylan were still active members in their sorority. Jenna said the girls who were still active members of the sorority who chose to not live in the house did so because of money problems, money issues. Their families didn't have enough money to live, right? Yeah. Off campus in a big old 6-bedroom piece of shit slumlord kind of house. That's made out of what? Fucking what? Plastic and well, you know what I mean. Did so because of money issues. Jenna said Maddie was Bethany's big sister. Okay. So Maddie was Bethany's big in the sorority. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Did I miss anything there? Big sister in what? Okay. They totally miss. See, I feel there should be more in this blank here. So let's read that again. Jenna said Maddie was Bethany's big sister in, okay, blank, okay, and then it just goes to this. Jenna, okay, hey, Moscow, I guess this whole section was, I don't know, missing? I don't know. Doesn't make any sense, though. Big sister. Okay. Jenna said she knew Kaylee saw a dark figure staring at her from the tree line when she took Murphy out to go to the bathroom. That's third or fourth time we're hearing about some dark figure watching her from up above the hill to where the house is, just staring at her, watching her take Murphy out. Now remember that freako. Remember that freako that a lot of people covered. Crime Circus covered him, okay? Remember, his house is right there. And he would sometimes take his dog out with Kaylee and walk the dogs together. Now, is that him? No idea. I'm just saying. We keep hearing about this dark figure here. Now, this is a third or fourth time we're hearing about this figure just standing there on the hill watching her. And I'm just saying, from the tree line. Good. Gee, that must be Brian Kohlberger, I guess. Yeah, I guess he stopped going to his PhD classes, right? I don't know. And he's standing watching her at a tree line, I guess. Anyway, okay. Jenna said this occurred about a month ago, October, at the King Roadhouse. Jenna said there has been lighthearted talk and jokes made about a stalker in the past. Jenna said all the girls were slightly nervous about it being a fact, though. Okay. Jenna did not indicate any social media issues or issues between the girls who live together. Okay. Jenna said there was no issue with girls from this other sorority. Okay, well, there had to have been something going on, okay, because they dropped out. So there's tension going on. They didn't like the rules. They didn't like to be told what to do. Just saying, mean girl stuff here. I'm just saying. Girls from that sorority and the residents at the King Roadhouse. Okay. Jenna said the front door had issues with locking, and sometimes it could be opened without a code. Right. That's why I believe Mr. Ethan's father, right, they had him come over and fix the front door lock and other locks. Okay. All right. Jenna said she did know the code to the front door. Okay. Oh, well, okay, fine, whatever. Jenna said she was unsure if the residents kept the backsliding door locked regularly. Okay, that's it for her. That's it for Jenna. Okay, guys, here we go. This is interview 4. Now, this one's a little confusing. So I may get some of this stuff wrong because it's just very confusing. I'm not exactly 100% sure who LB is. I'm thinking it's that Barracuda, right? David Barracuda. But I don't know if his first name is L. I don't know if David's his middle name. I don't know. I am not 100% sure who this is. I'm thinking it's Barracuda, Barracocha, what the fuck his name is, right? There's also David Loach. Now, if it's Loach, I don't know either because they have it as... Now, I don't know here, guys. This is confusing. So if I'm wrong with this name, correct me, okay? I'm just going to say L. I don't know if they're talking about Loach or if they're talking about Barracuda, okay? Yeah, seriously, this one gets a little weird. I mean, it's just confusing with all the goddamn names, the spelling errors, all that, right? So let's go on. Now, this is a little, well, I think you'll find this interesting. L said he did not go to that infamous Sigma Chi party. L said he went to sleep at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Okay, on Saturday night at Jack's apartment. That could be Jack. I don't know. Jack, Josie, I don't know, on Taylor Avenue. L said he woke up around 2 or 3 a.m. L said he... I don't know, guys. Jack, Josie, I don't know, and Emily were up talking in the living room of the apartment until 5 a.m. in the morning. About what? What are you guys talking about? Oh, for 2 and 3 hours. What are you guys talking about here? Right? Remember, these people have no idea what's happening. And it's funny that he just woke up, right around this time. Just ironic, isn't it, guys? Yeah, the magical time here. I don't know, round 1 time here. Yeah, just happens to wake up at this magical hour on this very morning. Okay, guys. Yeah, and they're sitting around talking until 5 a.m. in the morning. About what? What are we discussing? I don't know. Yeah, on 11/13. Yeah, that very same morning. Yeah. L indicated Hunter was present, but not awake during this time. Are you sure? L said he he they all went to bed at this time. Okay, so he's saying they all went back to bed at 5 a.m. after waking up and discussing something for 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours. Okay, guys, right. What are you talking about? Said they all went to bed at this time. Everybody goes to bed at the same time in this case, don't they, guys? We see that stupid shit over and over and over again. We all go to bed together at the same fucking times. Sure. Okay, guys. Gee, that's very convenient, isn't it? Okay. Anyway, said they all went to bed at the same time and woke up again at the same time around what he thought was 9 a.m. They all go to bed together. They wake up together. They wipe their asses together, apparently. Yeah. Convenient, isn't it, guys? Yeah. That's called, we need to separate these idiots, actually interrogate them, and find out who the one is lying on who here. And remember how we're going to go into that interrogation. We're going to go into that interrogation like a raging demon. Yeah. And again, until they lawyer up, we're going to look them dead in the face, each one of them that we separated, and say, you ain't leaving this room until you tell me everything that I need to know in this case, that what happened. And you're going to go in there again like a demon out of hell. Because you're going to be pissed, right? You want to solve this case immediately. This is, right, what kind of case is this? Right? So you're going to go in there and you're going to look them again like a bat out of hell. And you're going to be almost raging maybe. Maybe not raging. Okay? But you're going to certainly show them that you are pissed off. And you may be pissed off at me, you, whoever. That's how you got to play this here, Moscow Police Department. Right? You got all these cast of characters here. They're all saying stupid shit like, oh, we go to bed together, we wake up together, we wipe our noses together, we wipe our asses together. No. So you're going to separate them all. You're going to interrogate them like a demon. Okay? Until they get scared. Lawyer up, maybe. I don't know. Or I'm just saying. That's how you need to approach this, in my humble opinion. Elle said Hunter and Emily came into the room where he and Jack, take your pick. Jack, Josie, Jenna, I don't fucking know. Take your pick. Jack, I don't know. Where? Elle said Dylan had called Emily around 10 a.m. Let's read that again. He said Dylan had called Emily around 10 a.m. Let's see. I just want to check something. Okay. Dylan calls Emily. Not at 10 a.m. Dylan calls Emily at 11:50. Oh, so we're off about, 2 hours approximately here. Just saying. Now, would you let that go, guys? Would you let this go? Now, remember, this is the very same day, okay? This is just a few hours later that we're talking to these people. He says Dylan calls Emily at 10 a.m. in his statement. He's off approximately 2 hours here, guys, isn't he? Now, would you let that go? I don't know. In this scenario, I wouldn't let it go. It may seem small, but I would not let that go. That would stick out to me. That's a red flag to me. If I'm a real police detective here, that's sticking out to me when I check this stuff. Okay? Just saying. Maybe I'm checking right there, but when I go back and look over the evidence, this is going to stand out to me. Yes, it will. Okay? He's not off by a half an hour. He's not off by 10 minutes. He's off by almost a solid 2 hours here, guys. Okay, let's continue. Okay, right. Okay, so there you go. 10 a.m. And sounded scared. Gee, I thought this was a joke. No, I don't know. All right, Elle said Dylan told Emily someone had been in her house last night. Setting the alibi. Elle said Dylan and Bethany. Now, let me read this again. Okay. Elle said Dylan and the hobbit, Bethany, ran downstairs and locked themselves in a room. In a room. Again, Moscow Police Department, you have to be specific here. We are told they locked themselves in Bethany's room. Don't just put a room. Because again, it's confusing now. Now I don't know if this is subterfuge, but again, it's poor writing. What room? Remember, all the room. What room? Bedroom, kitchen, living room, basement. These are all rooms, idiots. Anyway, ran downstairs and locked themselves in a room. Elle said Dylan, one of the primes, informed them she did this because of her seeing someone in the house. And Dylan could only see his nose and his chin, not his eyes or his eyebrows. Could only see his nose and his chin. Remember? Big nose. Big nose. could only see his big fucking nose and his chin. Not eyeballs, not eyes, not eyebrows. Now, this is just from him, guys. This is just what he's saying, okay? L said Dylan was freaking out and wanted them to come over to the King Road house. Again, nobody's saying, hey, Dylan, I think you should call 911 right now. I mean, we'll come over, okay, fine, but as we do that, you really should call 911 at this very moment. Do you hear that in this? Do you hear that? No. Right? Look, if your friend, right, is calling, guys, think about it. If your friend is calling you on the phone, you think she's freaking out, she's scared, she's asking you to come over, whatever, that's fine. But you also have to say, okay, Dylan, calm down, we'll come. But you hang up the phone with us and call 911. Idiots. Again, people doing the wrong things over and over again. Here, guys, right. She was freaking out and wanted them to come over to the King Road house to stumble upon the crime scene because they want to distance themselves as much as possible here, especially Dylan. And remember what Bethany's doing. Bethany is calling Jenna and asking her to get her out of there. Right? Remember. Yeah. Instead of calling 911. Okay. Ridiculous, guys. Ridiculous. Anyway, L said he walked, with Emily, Josie. Okay, let me think about this. L said he walked with Emily, Josie, correct me if I'm wrong, to the King Road house from Josie's apartment. Okay, on Taylor. I don't know. I could be wrong. L said Dylan and Bethany walked out of the house crying. Walked out of the house crying. That's not what Emily said in the Amazon Prime special. Okay, now am I nitpicking here? Maybe. Okay, but what Emily says in that Amazon Prime special is Dylan and Bethany, when they arrived, they come out of the house with their hands over their mouths and kind of looked like they were in shock. They weren't fucking crying. So were they crying? Are they not crying? Are they in shock? What are we doing here? Right? Right. And remember, guys, I want you to keep this one in mind. This is a big one here, guys. This is a big effing one here. Remember, Hunter supposedly was the first one to arrive at the house because he left before everybody else to walk up to go there. Remember that. He's the first one that gets to the house. They didn't come out of the house crying then, did they? No. That's a big fucking red flag, guys. Big red flag here. Now all of a sudden we hear they come out of the house crying. But they ain't the first people that arrived. It was Hunter who arrived first. Remember? Right. And they weren't running out of the house crying then, were they? No, they weren't. No. Big red flag here. Really big red flag. Really big. Like, ginormous. Yeah. L said Hunter arrived to the residence first. Right. But they weren't running out of the house. Okay? So again, make your fucking stories fit. What's going on here? So who's lying here? Yeah. Right. Hunter arrived at the residence first because he left before them. Right. That's where I'm getting this from. L said he went into the downstairs door And Hunter told him not to come up. Not to come up. He wasn't finished yet, okay? Checking the house for boogeymen. Right, guys? Right. And checking for rigor mortis and all this fucking bullshit. Yeah. Hunter told him not to come up the stairs. Elle said he did not know Ethan very well. Elle said he did not recall any talk between Xana, I don't know, and Josie about boy issues. Boy issues. Okay. Elle said he did not see anything on social media that would, okay, whatever. Elle recalled an incident from about a month ago where Dylan said there was a guy stalking her. Stalking her, not Kaylee. Not Kaylee. Now we got a guy stalking Dylan. See? Dylan said there was a guy stalking her. And this makes sense because one of you, I think it was Sir Equinox Bob, in my comments, mentioned this. Right, this makes sense now. Now I know what you mean here. It's like, who is stalking me? Who is stalking you? You know, my stalker is greater than your stalker here. This kind of shit. This is bizarre, guys. Well, I'm going to tell you what I think this is. But where Dylan... Okay, fuck. Now, again, this could be an omission here. I don't think so, because... I don't think so. I think this is what Dylan said. Dylan said there was a guy stalking her. Dylan is substituting herself for Kaylee here, guys. Remember, Dylan is the prime. Dylan has severe identity issues. I don't know if the rumors are true about the transitioning stuff. I don't know that. Okay. However, that would play into this, though. It would. Okay. Dylan has severe identity problems, guys. She does, in my opinion. Remember, she is showing pre-psychosis issues when she's in high school, starting around 16-ish. Okay? All right. Now, I feel Dylan latched on to Kaylee like a leech. I feel, in my opinion, Dylan looked at Kaylee as sort of like the model of who she would want to look like, being a female. She latched on to Kaylee like a leech. Okay? And Dylan is substituting herself here for Kaylee here. This is all part of Dylan's identity problems. Dylan doesn't know who she is, or he doesn't know who he is here. And she is substituting herself for Kaylee here, guys. Okay? Does that make sense to you guys? It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. Dylan has severe identity problems. And they only got worse when she got to the university and she joined a sorority. That's part of the reasons why she joined a sorority, guys. Right? To try to figure out who she is. But the problem with Dylan, the prime, is she has psychosis. There is a tinge of psychosis that has been brewing and brewing. So her joining the sorority, that was probably one of the worst things she could have possibly done for herself. Okay, just my opinion. Anyway, especially for Kaylee. Oh yeah. Yeah, thanks, Dylan. Yeah, seriously. She wanted, here's what I think in the psychotic prime's mind. She wanted to take the place of Miss Kaylee. Yes, I do. And the only way to do that is to get rid of her. Think about it. Does that make sense to you guys? To me, that fits. That fits. Yes, it sounds bizarre, but it fits. I need to get rid of the person. I need to get rid of her because I am her. I want to be her. I also feel, now again, this is just speculation, my opinion. I also feel the level of brutality that we see, okay, on Kaylee, with essentially eradicating her face. Think about Dylan. Think about faces. Think about identity crisis. Think about who I am. Who do I want to be? Think about Kaylee. Think about her, again, driving an hour and a half to convince her to go to this Friday night party. Dylan, 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 and Dylan. Does that check out for you guys? Let me know. Let's talk about this. Does that check out? In my brain, that checks out. That's jealousy because I want to be you. That's jealousy because I am you. And the only way that I can be you is to get rid of you. So here, she is substituting herself for Kaylee. She is saying, there was a guy stalking me. Okay? Okay. All right. Let's carry on. Elle said he did not hear anything from the night prior. Great. How convenient. Yeah, my interviews were video recorded and have been uploaded to Case File. Mallory, this was written up November 28th, and it was reviewed by Sergeant Lawrence the following day on November 29th. This is still number 42, Sup 42, document 42. This concludes the initial interviews, at least in this document. Okay, guys? I hope you like that one, guys. A lot of red flags in this one, guys. I feel a lot. I'm sorry. Well, that's an understatement. Okay. Anyway, I hope you like that one. We're going to do more later. I love you all. Hey, again, what do I say? Again, best guard in the world. Metaphorically speaking, we go into battle with anybody. Metaphorically. Well, anyway. That's up to you. But I'm just saying, I'm the best guard in the world. I love you all. Hey, we're going to have a beautiful day today. Wonderful day. And we're not going to let anybody, try to convince us of things that we shouldn't be being convinced of here, guys. This is absolute nonsense. Again, if this was a real, now again, I don't know if they went back and actually really tried to put the screws to them. I don't know that yet. But I have a sneaky feeling that never happened. But I could be 100% wrong. That could 100% wrong here, guys. Anyway, I love you all. We'll talk later. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye.